My mom said, let him finish his school. They said, no, he has to go with us. He was in prison for 200 days. He was persecuted, he was hanged by the guards, and that was way back to 1983.
But we believe that all religions are one. So how can I say I don't believe in Krishna? How can I say I don't believe in Jesus? How can I say I don't believe in Muhammad? How can I say I don't believe in Buddha or Zoroaster? So we believe in all the manifestations of God.
What's wrong in being soft? Every individual has a soft heart. Every individual is being created noble. Give them chance to demonstrate their nobility. So we have given a lot of emphasis to the emotional development of the children and the spiritual development. This is very important.
My request that to the parents that they should give some meaningful time to their children.
What inspires someone to dedicate their entire life to building a better world? Is it their vision, determination, or unwavering belief in the transformative power of education? Today, we are honored to have two extraordinary individuals who have lived these ideals every step of the way. Mr. Toraj Moghbelpur and Mrs. Nadia Moghbelpur are not just educators, they are visionaries, peacemakers, and champions of holistic development. Mr. Toraj is a highly accomplished administrator with over 3 decades of experience in education management. As the founder of Blossom School in Bhubaneswar, he has been a driving force in creating one of the city's most respected institutions, where education is not just about academics, but also about shaping compassionate and capable individuals, a perfectionist with a heart for service. As a devoted member of the Baha'i faith, he actively contributes to community building efforts. At his side is his dear wife, Mrs. Nadia Moghbelpur, a visionary educational leader and child psychologist with over 40 years of experience. Her dedication to nurturing young minds through holistic education has transformed countless lives. Mrs. Nadia is also pursuing her PhD in child psychology with a focus on peace education, furthering her mission to promote harmony and compassion. Her work is grounded in the belief that education must empower not just academically, but emotionally and morally, preparing children to lead with wisdom and integrity. Their journey reminds us all of the incredible impact that two determined individuals can have on the world. Please join me in warmly welcoming Mr. Toraj and Mrs. Nadia. Namaste, sir and ma'am. Welcome to Happy Alien Life.
Very happy to be here with you.
Pleasure is all mine. तो शुरुआत से शुरू करते हैं. आप कहाँ पैदा हुए थे?
Yeah, I think ladies first. No, I was not born earlier. I was born later. But I speak earlier.
Yes.
But anyways, I'm so happy that you just took this opportunity to talk to us. It's really a pleasure. As you said, I'm Nadia, and I was born in Shiraz, Iran. Yeah, a beautiful city of Shiraz. You must have heard.
Yeah.
It's so well known for the beauty, for the poetry.
And wine.
The wine and the roses. So, yeah, it's our worldwide fame, but I'm yet to have that fame. Yeah, so my childhood was in Shiraz, Iran, and then till my youth days, I was there in Iran.
And sir, you were also...
I was born in Tehran, Iran in 1958. That's 64 years back. And I just came to India about 50 years back. Then I was completed my schooling is about class 9. I completed class 9. Then I came here just to study my education in English medium and go back to Iran back.
And where in India were you?
I came in Bhubaneswar. I came because my brother came first to India just 2 years before me. So he came, and so also I wanted to follow his path, and so I also come to India. And because so many doctors from India were going to Iran for exchange program, and so many students were coming to India. So, and that exchange program, I came here to study and go back. But the situation became different, and I decided to stay in India and continue my education. And since 50 years, I'm in Bhubaneswar in Orissa.
As your family, about your wife and kids, like your parents, and they are all in Iran?
My parents were in Iran. Then after some time, they went to Samoa Island, because my eldest brother and sister, they are there. And so they stayed with my siblings there, and passed away there in Samoa.
So how was it to, grow up in Iran at that time, like 50 years ago?
Yeah, it's completely different, and in Orissa was not that advanced that time, 50 years back, but now is a lot of changes within this 50 years, and roads are become wider. So many buildings come, so many offices have started. So much of development within these 50 years, which I'm in Bhubaneswar. Yeah, so a lot of changes.
Like 50 years ago, how would you describe Iran? Like a typical day.
Yeah, if I just try to recall, it was like it was such a beautiful place, and it is such a beautiful place, and it was so modern with all kinds of facilities around us, and we had such a great time in Iran that time. I'm speaking about way back to 1979 when I came to India. And we were living in a community, the Baha'i community, very beautifully, and we had very loving community. And the people of Iran are very hospitable, particularly the Shirazis. They are very hospitable people.
That's why I married here.
Yeah, and then so that was a different culture altogether. But because of this educational exchange basis, we came to India. And my parents were very keen that we should have a good education. But as you might be knowing from the history, pages of history, that in 1979, there was a revolution in Iran, and the education system also was a little bit deterred for some time. And the schools, colleges were all stopped. We just revised their curriculum and the system of education. So that was the time that my parents really didn't want us to be at home, just sit idly. So they thought, okay, why not our children go abroad? And already my brother was here in India. So then I came. Very interesting. I tell you one of the facts of my life, that when I was in Iran, I was the student of maths and physics in my higher secondary, maths and physics. So I had the maths brain and always, very curious about maths and physics. But then coming to India, I needed an admission in a college, for the reason of which I could get my visa, student visa. And my brother being here in India, he just straight away took admission for me in a college in Rourkela for psychology, for a subject like psychology. From the, that time we used to call it arts line.
Yes.
I was a student of science, and all of a sudden I had an admission in my hand for arts, and that was for psychology. I was absolutely, I was thinking, right? Oh, how can I do it then? Destiny. Yeah, destiny, exactly. And I never ever, till date, I'm saying that I never even asked him a question that, why you didn't take admission for me in physics and maths, and you took for psychology? So straight away when I came to India, I was in Rourkela. I joined SKDAD College in the arts, and I did my psychology. And after that, I did my PG in child psychology, and I'm doing my PhD. And then destiny, we had the school where psychology was really needed. So it is something really amazing. I just find it, that's something divine.
Yes. Iran and India have a lot in common. You have the language, the warmth of the people. But it must have been a little bit shocking for you when it comes to the culture, right? So many years ago, Did you experience something like that?
Yeah, when I came to India, it was, I mean, it was a different home. You know, I felt like it's another home for me. With that intention in my mind, I never felt that I am a stranger or this is not my home. They're not my people. You know, I quickly accommodated myself because again I fell into a community where they were so welcoming. They were so warm and it was so good. Like I can tell the Baha'i community of India was really so welcoming. They received me so well. And also my college people in Rourkela, because I went to a girls' college, you know, a women's college. It was very nice that I had all girls around me and I made good friends and all. So it was very nice. And you know, when I moved to India was the time of revolution in Iran. So it was a lot of anger around, and it was a lot of noises and bombs and this and that, and a lot of bloodshed and all like that, you know. So it was a very disturbing time. And when I came to India, it was like from a hot water, you're just falling into a cold water. You know, I felt very cool, very nice. People were very calm, very gentle. So initially, you just, maybe it's difficult, you know, to catch up with a new culture. But you need to learn. Like suppose as we came, we didn't know the language. I knew English very well, but my people around me in Rourkela, they didn't know much of English. They knew more of Korea and of Hindi. So then I had to learn. You know, I used to have short hair and the jean pant and top and like that. And then I had to accommodate myself Indian costume. So I started wearing a sari right from day one.
You have done so well because you know, there are a lot of women who don't want to wear sari, you know, every day or wear bindi, and you're so fluent in Oriya. You can ride around.
I'm nice and comfortable. Yeah, I feel so comfortable because this gave me Indian identity and I wanted that. I didn't want to live as a foreigner. I wanted to have my Indian identity. So I started the Indian costume first. I wore sari and I wore salwar kameez and all like that. And then I had a challenge of learning language. I way back to 79, I came in June, and it was in October 79 when I traveled with my brother to Keonjhar, another interior tribal area, because he had to go and he wanted to educate some children in that tribal area with the Baha'i community of Keonjhar. I didn't know the language. Day one, I felt that I'm being, neglected, ignored because the people couldn't talk to me, or if they were talking to me, I couldn't understand or respond to them. So the same day in the evening, I used to ask my brother that these people, he asked me, did you interact with the people? And I said, how can I? I didn't know the language. Then he said, okay, what all you heard? I said, this, some sound I could record. And he said, yeah, this means this and this means that. And I would say, okay, what is this? I was asking, like, suppose I will ask them, what is your name? Or I ask them, what are you doing? Or how do you cook your food? These I was asking him at night, writing down the terms in Uriya. And next day, when my brother was going to do education classes for the children, I was being with those women and I talking the sentences I'd learned a night before. And what happened? Yesterday you didn't know anything, and today you know a lot. And then they were feeling good. Sometimes they wanted to, put me again in the test, asking something different. And again, I was writing them down. And at night, this way, 19 days, we were in that tribal village. By the 19th day, when we came back to Rourkela, I was able to speak Oriya very fluently. I just don't want to, praise myself, but I want to tell you that the culture, if one really wants to, if one really likes the culture, we learn.
It's admirable, and I think that is the issue that a lot of countries have, especially with foreigners, Even in Iran, for example, if a foreigner is living there for a good amount of time, or Indians living in Australia or wherever, you need to at least make an effort to learn the language and the culture. And I think you've done really well. You are
But when I came to India, whatever I was studying in Iran, it was all in Persian medium. And when I came here, it was all in English medium. So it was like a shock, everything, like physics, chemistry, maths. So it was very, very difficult for me to So I again repeated my 1 year again also, so that I can understand better and it was good. Yeah, it was very difficult in the beginning, yes, but it was. I learned Oriya, then I learned English, and then Hindi because we used to go to Hindi movies, or Oriya movies, so we used to learn.
Yeah, Indian culture is very lively, it's fun. Like you can in bright colors, like this was the sari you wear, bright colors, and you can have fun every time. Indian movies are full of music, song, and all this, that one will really enjoy it.
I've always tell people, Indians like to indulge in all five senses in one go. So we like to hear loud music, see bright colors, also, we want to sing, dance, you're good, or there's no balance. So then what happened? You came as a student,
Yeah.
and then what happened in India? How did you just stay back?
You see, although we really wanted to go back to Iran, but I personally tell you that when I left my country, John, I never thought that I will never go back again.
And I know, I see for us, it's just a story, right? For you, it's an experience where you live it again. So, we take it slow and, wherever you feel uncomfortable, you please. It is difficult to, no matter, how your country is or what is going on in the country, there is this connection, that's why we call, Mother India, because you have that mother-daughter-child connection with your nation, right?
Amarish, cut. Continue. So then I came to India, I never thought that I would never go back to Iran. I was always thinking, okay, it's a transition, I just will come. I had come on a student visa, study and do my graduation. Then I'll go back to Iran and I'll continue. A few things really changed my way of living or my destiny. I could never go back to Iran till date. One was because of the revolution which happened in Iran, that the system, everything got changed. So if I would go back, what would I do? That was one thing. Because I was already a student over here and I accommodated myself. Second one was already got married. Just after 2 years of my education in college, we got married. Third was that we started the school.
Okay.
Yeah. And fourth was when we didn't have our passport anymore because we lost our passport in a train journey.
In India?
In India, yeah. Because it happens in India, in weekends when you travel. And that time, traveling by the trains, a very primitive way of traveling. We used to run behind the trains, jump in the train, have your suitcase, kick it there. It was not like nowadays that we book, we reserve, a sea bogie and all. No, that time was not like that. India was totally different than what it is now. And we were not that well equipped to travel without being protected, like that. So we lost our suitcase and as a result, we lost our passports also. So that was, yeah. So there's a few things which, one after the other supported that we can go back to Iran. And then that maybe was destined for us that we applied for Indian citizenship and we got the Indian citizenship after 5 years.
And your family?
Yeah, family was, as I said, I don't know if I told you, there are 7 siblings. So few of my siblings they already left Iran during that revolution time. 4 of them are in Australia. And my brother is already in India when I came. And there's still one more brother in Iran. Then, of course, one of the reasons was also that I didn't have my passport anymore, as I was just telling you that we lost our Iranian identity, the passport. which was still valid. We lost it in one train journey, as I just narrated.
So then, did you go to the Iranian embassy to get new passport?
Yes, yeah, of course. We had the records that we have lost our passport. We got the police evidences and everything. And we went to the Iranian embassy to apply for the passport. But being Baha'is, we were not given. So they asked us that, why don't you go back to Iran and apply for a new passport? It was really not fair that as we had our establishments already here in India and we had the school and everything here, going back to Iran only for the sake of getting a passport. So we couldn't find it fair and safe as well, because the Iranian Baha'is were under a lot of persecution at that time during the revolution, because the Baha'is in Iran are the largest minority, and the Baha'i faith is the latest religion. So, and it's the cradle of Baha'i faith. Baha'i faith is originated from Iran. So there is a lot of kind of intolerance towards the Baha'is, and the persecutions are rooted right from the inception of Baha'i faith. Like even the forerunner of the Baha'i faith, the Bab, was martyred, was killed in 1850 to different countries. So these were few, the background that in Iran, that people, although those who understand about the Baha'i faith, they are wonderful people and they all, accept Baha'i faith and accept the Baha'i community. But there is a kind of politically motivated people who go against the Baha'is. Iran is a beautiful place, and we really always look forward that if we could once again go back to our country.
And I am very hospitable people as well.
Yes.
It gets a little shocking to hear that these persecutions took place, because Iranians, they don't even take money from you when you try to buy something from their shop.
Yes.
Right?
They ask you, we don't beat you.
And then when you talk about these persecutions, it comes as a shock. And when I read your book, Nurturing Spirit, it was so moving. I ended up crying so much because the persecution took place in your family as well.
Yes.
Would you want to talk about it a little bit?
My mom came to India in 2011 because she didn't have any other option. Because all her children were out. My father was already persecuted. My father was killed by the Iranian regime in 1983. And mom lived there for 40 years, all alone by herself. Of course, my younger brother was there. He was taking care. But after all, she had to live on her own.
But why didn't she want to come and live with you or with your, other siblings, as it wasn't very safe for her?
Yeah, motherland is motherland, after all. She was always saying, this is my right to be in Iran. Iran is my place, my country. And this is my right to be there. I love my country. So she wanted to be there in spite of all those.
If something happens to someone else, somebody's hand in their family, just because they are following a certain faith or have a certain mindset, people get so angry. They get so revengeful. And instead of that,
no, it's not the case. Now, in Baha'i community has seen these persecutions right from the inception of the faith. So as I told, even the founder prophet of the Baha'i faith has been persecuted. Then what about the followers? So it's like once you're committed to your faith, you have to adhere to the principles. And the principles of Baha'i faith, the teachings of Baha'u'llah speak about kindness, about forgiveness, about unity, about love, about harmony. And then Baha'u'llah talks about oneness of religions, oneness of humanity. So, all these make us like we are so soft-hearted that we can't retaliate. We cannot go against other people. This is not the people who are at fault. It's the system, maybe, which was. So, like this is my father. This is one of his pictures that was persecuted.
So can you tell me what happened to him?
Yeah. He was actually a government servant. He was a doctor, veterinary surgeon, who was traveling throughout the city, the state of Shiraz, for taking care of the cattle, and the farmers were so admiring him. And at the same time, being member of Baha'i community, we all have some obligation to serve humanity. This is a part of our faith, you know. So work done in a spirit of service is worship. And serving humanity is a first and foremost duty of every one of us. So my dad also, being a servant, government servant, still he had his own free time serving the community, serving the people, even at the cost of not receiving money from the people wherever he was going and helping them to, help their cattle and to be, to recover whatever. And he was at the same time conducting Baha'i programs, Baha'i community gatherings and all like that. It's very knowledgeable Baha'i. And it happened so that it was not only about my father, there are a number of Baha'is who have been persecuted throughout this phase of past 50 years and even before, right from the time of starting of inception of Baha'i faith. So I was here in India when this happened, that they came to our home and the Revolutionary Guards came to our home and they just asked my dad to go with them. And it was just food time. My parents were having dinner, my younger sister and family, they were all having dinner together. But they just asked my father to go because they had a letter that they can arrest him. They had the arrest warrant they had. And that very night, my mom said, let him finish his school. They said, no, he has to go with us. And then immediately they also took away whatever books he had and the albums, family albums and all this, and they took him to the prison. And he was in prison for 200 days. So my mom has narrated and I've written everything in this book. Over 200 days he was in prison. And ultimately he was persecuted, he was hanged by the guards, and that was way back to 1983.
How did your family, what did you feel? I mean,
I personally felt proud. He felt proud because, and my mom also said, she has written in this book that had it not been this way, she would feel ashamed if my father would say that he would recant his faith or he would go against this, end of order of the government. My mother said I would feel ashamed, but now I feel proud of him that could remain firm and steadfast till the last breath. So I think he has not done anything wrong. That is the conviction that we have, not only he, but all those who have given their lives. They have not done anything wrong. So that is something which makes us feel proud about them. And we pray for forgiveness of those people who have, done this to him, like persecution.
but that is extraordinarily you being strong, right? And it's usually, you hear people, they disseminate these types of teachings, searching honesty is the best policy, forgive and forget and this and that. But when it really happens to someone who's near and dear to you, it is very difficult to follow those rules and paths, because you just feel so much anger and you feel victimized, right? So how did you guys gather so much strength and so much faith? And this question is for people who are going through, terrible times or are completely hopeless.
See, one is that, from humanitarian point of view, okay, you lost your dad, you start missing him. But from a different angle, if you look at it, like he has sacrificed his life for a cause, which is something beyond human limitations. That's one thing. And then when we believe in eternity of soul, so he is with us. Like maybe bodily he's no more with us, but his soul is with us. So, that way he has remained firm and steadfast. He has given his life for a cause. which is the freedom of humanity. And then his soul is eternal, he's with us. Even Baha'u'llah himself, when he suffered all these sufferings, he said, I'm accepting the cup of, I'm drinking the cup of suffering so that humanity will be free from the chains of prejudice and limitations, human limitations. So when the founder of the faith had so much of, conviction towards this, that his sufferings are for the cause of human liberty, human freedom. So I think we are just followers.
And you're absolutely right too. Your father would have been so proud of you.
My father was not the only one who was persecuted. Right from the inception of Baha'i faith, more than 20,000 people have given their life, given their blood for the promotion of the cause. And during that contemporary time of my dad in Shiraz, there were 17 of them who were killed during the same period of 16th of June and 18th of June 1983. So the men, like my father and 6 more, they were the men who were persecuted on 16th of June in Shiraz. And the women, there were 10 of them who were persecuted on 18th of June in the city of Shiraz.
They were Baha'is.
They were also Baha'is, and their accusation was only because they were Baha'is and they were lover of mankind and they were concerned about the education of children and women. Among those 10 women, the youngest was a girl of 16 years of age only, Mona. Mona is her name, and she was only 16 years old. And she was arrested the same way as my father was arrested. They come home and they give the arrest warrant. She was also one of them that day. And these 10 women, me innocent, having no fault of any sort, the only accusation was they were Baha'is and they were involved in teaching and educating the children. Or they, turned and twisted that they were diverting the minds of the children. So these women were also persecuted. They were also around 1 year they were in prison, and then they were also persecuted at the same time. So this, you might have heard of the campaign recently past 2 years. Our Story is One. It's talking about the rights of the women. That why all this should happen. Even to today, the right of the women are not being given to them. You must have heard of recent riots also happening with Matsa and all these about the, kind of covering their head and all this. Kind of
I think you're humans, irrespective of the gender, culture, caste, creed, they are for freedom.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And when that freedom is suppressed and curbed, I think there's nothing more inhuman than that.
But more than freedom is the right of the individual.
That is freedom, right? It's the free speech.
People, they have your right to live. Yeah, exactly. Your right to live as a human being, your right to promote happiness, promote unity, promoting love. What is bad in that? It's all positive vibes that you want to promote, you want to share with the people. One positive soul can really bring a lot of happiness and hope to the people. So this is what we are really looking forward for more people to understand, that the rights of the individual should be given. Human rights is the most essential right that every individual should have. And we are so proud that in India, human rights are being protected. The right to live with dignity is one of the elements in our Indian constitution. So these positive things have to be promoted. So we all have to see that particularly gender equality should be promoted, rights of the women to be given to them, and the promotion of human rights should be really practiced.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And so even your parents, you come from the Baha'i faith.
Actually, my parents were in Tehran, then my father had the mosaic tiles factory. Then he shifted to Noor, which is one city in the north of Iran, Mazandaran. And so their factory was there. So for many years, we had the mosaic tiles factory. So after some time, due to revolution and all, they burned our house and our factory. So my parents have shifted from Iran to Australia, then to Samoa. Then that was the thing. Our land, property, everything was looted and confiscated.
Was someone there when they were burning the factory? Did you know?
My parents were there, and they left the place, and incident that took place, they have left the place. So we have land, we have property, everything, but everything is gone. So we don't have anything there. So my parents went to Australia to my brother, then they went to Samoa Island, which is my siblings are there, my brother and sister. So this was the situation. As she said, we didn't want to recant the faith, but we believe that all religions are one. We believe that all the avatars, all the manifestations of God have come for unity and love. So how can I say I don't believe in Krishna? How can I say I don't believe in Jesus? How can I say I don't believe in Muhammad? How can I say I don't believe in Buddha or Zoroaster? So we believe in all the manifestations of God. As Baha'u'llah says, the foundation of all religion is one. So that's why we believe in every religion, every faith. That is the beauty of the Baha'i faith, which it is in all religions. Like in Hinduism is written that what Vasudeva Kutumbakam is there. That Jesus said you love everyone. Like Hazrat Muhammad said, you have unity. All avatars have said the same thing, to bring love and unity. But unfortunately, some people who are fanatics, they want to divide and rule, they want to bring disturbance. But as a Baha'i, we are firm that we love all religions. We love everyone. Whether you are Indian, you are from China, from America, any country. So as a human being, we love everyone. So who knows, we didn't decide where to born. Somebody was born in India, somebody was in China, somebody in America. So this is not in our hand. So why should I hate a person who was born in other country or other place? Or his color of the face is black or white or yellow.
The Lotus Lotus Temple is a very popular tourist destination. But very few Indian. What does it symbolize?
Yeah, actually, they don't know. Actually, as Baha'u'llah, the founder of Baha'i faith, said, that every city and every village, town, everywhere, there will be Baha'i house of worship. Whether it's small or big, or doesn't matter. So, like Lotus Temple, which is built in Delhi for the Indian continent, so it brings peace and unity. So the lotus, it comes out of the dirty water, which symbolizes purity. So that's why in India, the culture of India, they love lotus because it's a national flower, and also all the goddesses are sitting on the lotus.
Poetry, in Indic virtual literature, all the poems would have, these similes where they all compare, somebody's eyes to, lotus, somebody is coming out of grief and poverty, that you be like the lotus, you can't be out of that environment, but blooming like the lotus. As you said, lotus is very...
Yeah, the structure which is in the water, there are 9 water ponds and 9 bridges, 9 gates. It is open, symbolizing that everyone in the world, whether you are from any religion, any caste, any creed, all are welcome to enter and pray their own. If someone is Hindu, he can read Bhagavad Gita. If somebody is Muslim, he can read Holy Quran. Or somebody Christian, he can read Bible. So everybody is allowed to pray their own religion or to whomever they believe. So it is not that you come to Baha'i temple, you pray only Baha'i prayer. So there are every day there are 3 prayer services, which the volunteers, they chant from all the holy scriptures, from Bhagavad Gita, Quran, Bible, Baha'i writings, Buddhist scriptures. And so that we believe in this temple, which is built by the Baha'is. But it is not for Baha'is, it is built for all humanity. So that is a uniqueness in temple where they don't charge money when you enter. They don't charge money for keeping your shoes outside. They have got a place to keep your shoes. And there is no priest, no pandit, no Maulavi, no clergy to pray for you. As Baha'u'llah said, you can pray to God directly. You did not need any mediator. You can pray to God directly. So when you go to Baha'i temple, whether in Australia, whether in Kampala, Africa, whether in Panama, whether in Chicago, any Baha'i temple which is all over the world, we have got many Baha'i temples. All are having 9 gates and it is open to all. And there is no idol, there is no photo, there is no priest. So you can pray to anyone you want to pray.
You'll be happy to know, like, the teachings of Baha'i faith are so practical for this age. When it talks about unity of mankind, it really also has come with a practical package, so to say, as nowadays they say, no, practical package or free package like that. So it's like Baha'u'llah says, God loved your creation, so He created you. So we are being loved by God, that's why He has created us. And then He says now the tabernacle of unity is erected. So we all have to be united, irrespective of all our differences. So this temple, as you say, call it temple, but we call it like house of worship. The Lotus Temple or the Baha'i house of worship is a place to unite the people, irrespective of all differences.
Actually, what I find interesting is it comes from a place of love instead of fear.
Exactly.
Yes,
True.
of course, yeah.
A lot of people say we are God fearing. Nice. Come from that place of love.
Love, exactly, yeah.
And then everything falls into place. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you see, like, suppose when you talk about family, when we know that the foundation of the religion is love and unity, that will be manifested in the family as right. And it starts from the Baha'i marriage. You might have heard about the Baha'i marriage because the Baha'is are given the freedom that they can marry to anyone from any other background as well. Like a Baha'i can marry a Hindu, can marry a Christian, can marry a Muslim, because all the religions are one. But the only criteria is that you should have your consent of your parents, because the parents have a high regard in Baha'i faith. So that will bring again further unity in the family. The background should not be a kind of a rejection of any kind of marriage. So again, that will bring causing love and unity. Then Baha'u'llah talks about universal language. He says, irrespective of all different languages in the world, you need to have one unified language called universal language, where the people of the world should be able to communicate with each other. Okay, presently he's speaking English, but English is not the universal language because some places they can't understand English. They still don't talk in English. But Baha'u'llah says that the expert of language throughout the world should assemble together and come upon a universal language. It should be applicable to these
A universal language of love. Inter-religious marriages, or even new people are married where they can't understand each other's language.
Yeah.
German and Russian.
Yeah.
But somehow they manage to maneuver through the marriage.
Exactly.
Because they come from a lot of beautiful, right?
Yes, I appreciate, really beautiful.
I think your parents would have been so proud of you guys.
Thank you.
Because you don't only talk the talk, you walk the talk as well. And I have seen it with your school, Blossoms in Bhubaneswar. Then I think it would be every child's dream to be in that school. Especially people from my generation, when we were growing up and there was so much abuse. And we used to be so scared of our teachers who used to just power trip. They had that power and they could, misutilize that power with the children, who in front of them don't have that much power, right? And, schools, they have the big posters of honesty is the best policy and be kind to each other. But when the founders, the directors of the school imbibe those qualities, I don't expect anything less from, a school like that. I was so surprised when I saw you guys walking through the corridor and children just coming to you guys and hugging you and giving you that fist bump. And I was so shocked, actually pleasantly surprised that can we really love our founder director and principals this much? Because normally people would get very scared. Oh, principal's coming, the director's coming. Let's just behave, at our best behavior. We are our best behavior.
Again, I should say it's a Baha'i-inspired ideology, the school that we have, Blossom School. And, Baha'u'llah says that regard man as a mine, gems filled with the gems of inestimable value. Every individual is like a mine, There are gems inside the mine. So he says, regard man as a mine filled with gems of inestimable value. Education alone can reveal its treasures, and that mankind be benefited therefrom. Like, this is the opportunity that we have at the school. When we go every day, we go to school, we think, oh, one more day is given to us, one more day of service, one more day of opportunity to excavate the mind, to get more gems from those children.
I remember you were telling me a story of, when children in your school fight, and then how they reason. No, he must be very stressed, and hence, he was a little aggressive. I just thought so much wisdom in children where they can channelize how they are feeling.
They do. I just tell you one or two small incidents, like it was about a music class was going on. So because we want the children to have, the flavor of everything, so we have music classes and all. So this boy, in middle of music class, suddenly one of our caregivers came and informed me, man, so-and-so has gone to his classroom and has thrown all the bags of all the children. I said, how come? Where were the children? No, they all were in the music class and he alone was out, and he has gone to his classroom and he has thrown away all the bags. Then it just struck my mind, something must be wrong with him, because we talk so much about the virtues, we talk so much about helpfulness, discipline, this, that. What went wrong with this boy? So I said, okay, can I talk to him? Then the lady who informed me, she went and called into my office. And children like coming to my office or his office. They look forward. So it's not that they are scared of coming to the director or manager's office. They come happy. So the lady I sent her, she told him that ma'am wants to meet you, and then he came happily. Yes, ma'am. I said, I've heard that you have gone to your class and you've thrown away all the bags. Is it true? Yes, ma'am. I said, oh, why? Why did you do so? He said, ma'am, I was very angry. I said, okay, yeah, you have the right to be angry, but why? Tell me why you were angry. And he said, I was in the music class and everyone was singing, and I don't have a good voice, and ma'am is telling me you are singing Biswara, like they are out of tune, You are singing out of tune. You better stop singing it, others sing. So I felt so bad. Why should ma'am tell me like this? The only thing came to my mind that I should do something. I went back to the classroom and he threw everybody's bag. I said, do you feel okay now? You feel better after throwing that? I'm not feeling good about it, but I just somehow released my anger. I said, yeah, but that was not the right way, isn't it? If someone else would do that and your bag would have fallen down. Now after the music class, children will go back to the class. They always see their bags have fallen. What would be the reaction? Tell me. Yeah, ma'am, that would be really sad. I would not like it if someone does to me. I said, so what will you do now? He said, I'll go back to the class, so I'll put them all back in place. I said, good, go ahead. And he went back and he just arranged everything. And then he came back, ma, I've done it. I said, next, now you go back to your music class and sit quietly. I'll talk to your music teacher later. And he did so. And till date, that boy is now a chartered accountant. He's doing so well in his office work. And till date, we are friends. And he's saying whatever I have is from that episode, that how you make me understand that they didn't do anything right. And the small episodes, like there's one more that Naughty who became first in the running race. There was a running race happening in the school. And there were a few teachers standing as a referee. So they should say who came first, second. And then they just got hold of this boy and said, he is first. And he put him on the victory stand and he gave him first, the medal, the trophy and all like that. And photos, everything was taken first, this one, second, that one, third, that one. I could feel that he was not very happy about it. It's okay. So the next day, when they all came to school, after the sports event was over, he came to school and said, came to the office with that medal, the trophy. The first prize. He said, ma'am, I was not first. I said, what? You don't remember? You became first in the running race. The teachers have already identified your team first. No, I was not first. Teachers keep wrong. Sushri, the other girl's name, he said. Sushri became first, not me. She ran faster than me. She reached to the end point, but the teachers grabbed me and there. I said, oh, very good. I'm so happy. You're so honest. They said, yes, ma'am. So this is not mine. Which class? He must be class 4. Really? Yeah. 8 years old? Yes. Or maybe 9 years old. Yeah, I was in class. And I said, it's not mine. I said, see, this is yours, but not for that reason. This is yours for the honesty that you have. So I said, okay, now we go to the assembly tomorrow, school assembly, and we will award Sushi the first prize, and we will award this to you for your honesty. The next day, again, morning assembly, everyone, after the prayer is done, it's okay, students, something to be announced. This is being announced by him. Just we identified him that he was not first on that day, and Sushi was first. So everyone was, surprised. And everyone clapped for him for his honesty. And we gave him the trophy, the memento. This is your honesty memento, not first position in your running. And it's just something that, this is what gives us pleasure. Isn't it? This is the kind of behavioral change that we are seeing in the children.
What do you think? How are children so comfortable with you, because obviously you create a safe environment. And these days, there are a lot of discussions about give a safe environment to the child, they shouldn't be no trauma, that this parenting advice and that parenting advice. What do you think is different in your school? I mean, obviously you guys. But apart from that, what gives them that confidence?
Yeah, I think that child right is being well practiced.
And which is? What are
Well, it means the child has the right to feel emotional. The child is having the right to feel happy, feel excited, to laugh, to cry whenever needed. The child should remain a child. It's not that we don't appreciate the fake behavior or a made-up behavior that the child has to smile even if she's not happy. To manipulate their emotions. So we have given a lot of emphasis to the emotional development of the children and the spiritual development. This is very important because every day we start with a prayer and the children know why they are saying prayer. This is important. You see, you said that everyone is talking about safe environment, this and that, but just talking about is not enough. You should really be able to provide it for the children. The child should feel safe. When you speak about safety, the child should feel safe when she sees everyone around her values her presence.
When you talk about, you go to convent schools, especially, there you have prayers throughout the day. Because I went to a convent school just for a couple of years, and it was one of my most traumatic years in my life. Now, in that school, we used to pray in the morning, in the afternoon, before every period, after every period. It was a lot. But there was so much toxicity. I mean, I remember I used to go to tuitions, and the teacher there, once what she did was, I was 7, 8 years of age. And there was this boy who must have been 11 years of age. And the teacher asked him a question. He couldn't answer the question. So then the teacher asked me to get up and slap him.
Oh no. Oh, so sorry. Yes.
And I was so shocked. I refused to slap him. Because first of all, even if he was my age, I would have not slapped him. I thought, ended to me as well. And anyway, so because I refused, the teacher slapped me.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Also in school, there were these very strange rules. You cannot go to the toilet. You can only go to the toilet during break. So imagine if you're in school from 7:30 till about 2 o'clock,
Oh no. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You have to beg. And there were instances where the teacher would send another student behind the girl to see if,
Oh, really, I'm going to washroom now.
can you imagine? Or
Uh,
another rule, which is, so, you have the bag here or here. You have to take out the books like this. You cannot take them out like that because you cannot show back to the teacher.
Oh,
So this is the power play, I feel.
exactly.
And plus you teach that comfort because you have that experience, you have that wisdom.
Yeah.
The child is new in this world, compared to teachers who are of a certain age.
Yeah.
And when I listen to your stories and I look at Blossoms and I just think, I wish I was in that school.
I remember in my childhood, of course, once I was absent because my mother took me to my auntie's house because my auntie was not well. So I was absent. The next day, everybody is in assembly. Then our vice principal said, those who are absent, those who were absent yesterday, you come out. So I went out. I was in class 3 or 4. I don't remember. Yeah. That time it was winter and full of snow. It was maybe 2-3 feet of snow, but it was compulsory to go to school. And the vice principal started hitting me by a stick. That winter, cold winter, and he was putting his foot on my foot so that I will not run away. And he was holding my hand. He was hitting this hand, that hand, for many times. So I couldn't write anything.
No, because you said that at my auntie's house.
I said, he said, where you were there? Why you were absent? I said, I went to my auntie's house. Oh, you went to auntie's house? So he didn't know that. I said my auntie was not well, so my mother took me. So they couldn't understand. So the punishment which I got, even for few days I couldn't write. I couldn't hold pencil to write anything. So that was the experience. Then when we opened the school, because we loved the children, that's why we opened school. And I said nothing doing, no teacher, nobody is allowed to punish physically or verbally to abuse a child. That incident was always coming in my mind, that if one teacher will beat a child, what will happen? What will it, because I already experienced physically, maybe she's also experienced. But
Yes.
during these 40 years which had already passed, we were running in school, we didn't allow anybody, first in terms of appointment, we just talk to them, to the teachers, that the first condition is you should not beat or you should not abuse the children. If you agree, then you please come. If you not agree, you please don't come. So this is the condition. So
At that time, the parents, there were two types of parents, I would say.
two types.
One who really had compassion for their children, my child, he can't beat it up, but also got suppressed by the school authorities. Yes. Schools would rustigate the students or summon the parents that, we are going to throw your child out. Because, there are more educational institutes now in India compared to what there used to be.
Yeah.
Second set of parents are, they agree with this behavior. They say, yes, you get beaten up, then that is how you will study. Now, parents these days are more aware compared to the previous generations when it comes to this violence. But I'm sure there are parents still who say, no, you should, ma'am, please beat him up.
Yeah, there's some few parents are there. That will say, but we say, sorry, in our school, we don't do all this.
Seriously, the child, the child is born in a family. The full right is the right for the parents. Okay. When the child comes to school, parents have given the care of the school. So it's our full right to take care of the child, irrespective of how many hours the child is with us. If it is mother of a nursery class, say 3 hours, little bigger children, 5 hours, little older ones, 8 hours, maybe at the school. That is our time. Okay? Parents are left to themselves. They're doing something else. They must be doing something very important. but the children are with us. Now, we have to remember that we can discipline the children without nagging them, and we can love them without spoiling them. This balance between loving the children and disciplining them, like education, is very important. This is like, you really need to be trained for it. You really need to want it to be that way.
Tell me a few tips for parents these days who are struggling, because I a lot of parents that I meet these days, they say, they have just over-involved the parents in the child's daily activity, this homework, that homework. And then I also feel parents these days are aiming towards raising perfect children. Piano class, dance class, singing class, this class, that class. Right, perfect. Wake up at 5 o'clock and this and that. So, as, the founders and chairman of the school, as well as a psychologist, right?
Yeah.
Give me a few tips for parents who are struggling.
Of course, I can tell you all the parents, but first I would like to talk about the teachers.
Yes, please.
Because you see, when the teachers are also in tune with the principles of education, irrespective of the syllabus. Now you see, there are two different things we are talking about. One is the syllabus of the school. Okay, be it a Central Board of Secondary Education or the ICSE school or local state level board or whatever. Every school has a syllabus to be followed. That is fixed, that we have to do. But the other one is the development of the child, the care, If that training is not given to the teachers, the other training alone is not enough. See, nowadays they are coming up with capacity building workshops and not capacity building of what? They say, no, that particular subject. If a teacher is English teacher, capacity building, how she'll be a better English teacher. But I say no. First, a teacher should be a better human being. If she's a lady, teacher should be a better mother. If a gentleman, a maid teacher should be a better father for these students. So that capacity building has to be done for the teachers. So, and of course, we spoke about a love of God and fear of God, but that thing should be in their heart that this child is a noble soul. And if I'm dealing with the child, I am dealing with a noble soul. Just have the example of Mahatma Gandhi, Abdul Kalam, Mother Teresa, and all these big contributors to human society. Weren't they child once upon a time? Just imagine, all these children who are coming to us for education, they are someone, and there's some pure soul behind them. They're not empty slates that you think, okay, now I can write on them and just do whatever I can. At that point of time, if you're in the classroom, the teacher should understand that I am the mother of this many children, I'm the spiritual educator of this many children, and they are my children. And whatever may happen to them, I will be responsible for. That feeling, if that is developed in the teachers.
And how do you do it in your school?
Yes, we just talk about it like the way we talk now. Similarly, we sit and we talk about it. Like suppose I have an instance that a teacher was upset when she went to the class and she retaliated to the children, and maybe she really didn't want to harm a child, but by just holding the ear of the child, it was very painful for the child. And later on, when I came to know, and I asked the teacher that, what happened? Why did you do so? Because the child is in pain and you are answerable. I'm not saying that you're answerable to the parents, you're answerable to God because you have made that child feel hurt. She said, Ma'am, I was helpless, I was tired. It was not my class, I'd just gone for a substitution class and the teacher was not there. And so I was tired already, that was my break, I wanted to just relax or something. I said, okay, you could have told. Then I took her aside and did a bit of counseling with her. And I said, see, next time, even if the coordinator, principal, whoever will ask you for taking an extra class when you are not in the frame of mind, just say no. Say that you have a problem, you are not fit enough to take a class. Take 10-15 minutes of your own time in the office, staff room, relax. When you feel good, go back to the classroom. It's okay. We can bear with that. Talking to the teachers individually also. When a teacher has already got some family issue, she comes to the class. Either she has problem with her in-laws or with her husband or with her own children. There are some teachers whose children are in class 10. Their own children. They're in class 10. They're going to appear board exam. And when they come to the school, they're always worried. My child is at home preparing for the exam. It's okay, take leave. It's all right. Take leave, be at home with your child. Even if your child prospers, we will be happy. And we substitute.
That is an enormously compassionate approach. Now, a lot of people might argue, but it is an institution we are running. This is not a psychiatrist's office or psychologist's office. And that is the reason people get. They say, after a point of time, we cannot control. There are so many children, there are so many teachers. We can't get into what's going on into each other's heart. But you put immense amount of effort. You listen to them, you address it, which mostly people don't. And people also argue that, no, teachers and children, they need to be disciplined. Otherwise, they'll become too soft. People say that,
Yeah.
right? What would you say to that?
What's wrong in being soft? Okay? Imagine about Ukraine and Russia war. What's happening? These soldiers, are they willingly going to the battlefield? No. Every individual has a soft heart. Every individual is being created noble. Give them chance to demonstrate their nobility. This is the argument. This is the argument that you give them a platform to demonstrate their nobility. If they want to be kind, let them demonstrate it. If the children are sharing their tiffin, they bring snacks. If they're sharing and teacher says, no sharing. Have your own tiffin. Why you have not brought this, that? Okay, we discipline them, but you all have to bring. But if a child happily wants to share with someone else, that is a nobility. The child is coming up with that, Just give it. And sometimes the children in the field, they fall down and maybe they hit each other by mistake. And we always think that they have done it purposely. Then that's also not correct. So what we do, we call them to the office, we talk to them. They practice truthfulness. Give them a scope to speak the truth. I'm not going to punish you. You just tell me. And just maybe a few months ago, a child came from the field. There was a break, recess time. They were playing. I'm full of scratches and hurt. And I said, what happened? I was running, so-and-so pushed me. And so-and-so has already gone to the class. So I just said, okay. A caregiver, a nurse was cleaning their wound and putting, not very deep wound, but just surface, she was cleaning. And I said, you call so-and-so from the class. And then they brought the boy and I said, look, what happened to your friend? He said, oh my God, what happened to him? Like the child was shocked, the other child. Whereas everyone was thinking that he should be accused, he should be punished. He was shocked. What happened to him? He said, you pushed me. I never knew. I just happened, like maybe accidentally I was running. I never knew. It was not on a purpose. I'm sorry. Immediately, instantly. I said, okay, I understand. If you're feeling sorry, can you help him to recover? Then we gave the other child. He took we bought sablon and cotton and cleaned up the wound and, and the compassion is, you feel better? Yeah. I said, now you take him to the class. And that boy took him to the class. So I had two options. I could make him stand there, hold his ears, give him punishment, sit and stand punishment, why you push. The other approach which I had was to make him understand that how much he's hurt and how he is feeling and how you can be of help. So if this is being practiced, what is wrong? If the child is soft enough to understand the empathy, if the empathy is being developed in the children. That's why I'm working on peace education. But how these how these emotions can be really put into practice. These emotions are beautiful. God's creation is beautiful. Humanity is noble. Give them opportunity to perform their nobility.
And I also love that Sir really supports you in your endeavors. You're doing your PhD.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Always I'm supportive.
So your PhD topic is on
Yeah, it's efficacy of peace education on anger management in adolescents. So I'm touching three topics.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah.
What an interesting topic.
So one is that I'm working about adolescents, teenagers, in and out, in and out.
Parents really need your help.
Yes,
Yes.
again, there's another misconception. Not all the adolescents are bad. And not all the adolescents are aggressive. There are some of them who are aggressive. And again, what makes them aggressive? That's again the reasons. And what makes them calm down? So all these, interlinked is my PhD.
What makes teenagers aggressive and what can calm them down?
You want to read my thesis? Yeah, I've designed some modules actually with some parameters of peace or dimensions of peace education that can be given. Because some people believe that if the teenagers learn how to be peaceful, the level of violence will be much lesser. And it's true because we have done this research, I've collected data and I've seen that how these modules are helpful. Like suppose when the teenagers learn about tolerance, they learn about helpfulness, they learn about differences, that there are differences among us. So we have to appreciate differences. Why one gets irritated? Because thing is not happening according to his choice. So he gets, irritated. He starts reacting. So the other one is like,
Parents have a role to play in the aggression as well. Like they actually
people
lack of understanding.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Because earlier you asked me about some tips for the parents. Maybe this is the right time that I could just share it. But the only thing is that if they are a child, I would say that give them their childhood, let them live their childhood. But as they reach the adolescent period, try to understand them. This is very important that we understand the adolescent, that they should really feel that they are friends. We are their friends. And we want them to be good, but not by nagging them or criticizing or fault finding in them, but rather by understanding the situation. Now, you see, if you have a patient here with you, for example, say a cancer patient you have with you, you understand that he is behaving this way because he is suffering from such that problem. So you understand the adolescent is already into a lot of commotions from inside, physically changing, emotionally changing, and mentally changing. He's in between two phases of transition from childhood to adulthood. So if we understand this middle point, the transition from childhood to adult, he is confused. Am I a child? Am I an adult? When I come to talk to my parents, when they're discussing, they say, oh, you're a child. Don't interfere. And if I do something childish, are you a child? You're an adult now. So he gets confused. Am I a child? Am I an adult? What should I do? So the parents also should go through that transition. They should really study. Parents should understand what all changes are happening in an adolescent.
What do you think about parents?
I just want to tell you one point. Of course, I'm not psychologist, but what do I know? Detail about my experience.
Learn about my technique.
I think he needs an award doing a doctorate. The person who lives with the doctorate student, I think he's earned the post.
Why it is so noticed?
Half doctor. No, actually, the children, they need love and affection. I just give always this example when we have got orientation meeting for parents. I ask them that, you see, when you put a plant here, so the money plant is here, and there is a window here, and here is the other side is wall. So the money plants or the creeper, it goes towards the sun windows. Where is the sunlight is, it will go automatically. Whether you don't put the plant this way, but it will go automatically towards the window because the sunlight is there. So it needs light, it needs warmth. So that is the love and affection. So if you don't love your child, and some other people will love him, so he will go towards drugs, he will go towards other mafia groups, because he gets attention from them. He doesn't get attention from parents. So you have to be very, very careful. As she said, in adolescence age is very sensitive age, and they need love and affection, the friendship, that father and mother, they should be friend with the child, whether girl or boy, doesn't matter. But the child needs love and affection. So if parents will give love and affection, then he will come or she will come towards you. If other negative people, they come towards him and they begin friendship, then he will go towards them. So that is, we have to be very, very careful. Yeah.
So maybe the education of parents is very important.
Previously, there was this stigma around studying commerce or arts. You're the best student, you get into science section. Or second best, then okay, commerce is fine. And a lot of schools didn't have arts section at all, right? But thankfully, now I see things changing, where you can take arts subjects with science subjects and commerce subjects, right?
Yes, with the new education policy 2020, lot of changes have happened. And I think we are among those schools who started implementing these changes in our school. And that's really for betterment of the students. So the mindset takes time to change. I can openly say the mindset of the parents need to be changed now, that not everyone need to study science, not that everyone needs to study commerce. Students can have other, kind of inclination to other subjects, which is the ambition or the talent and abilities are demanding that. So this NEP has given a lot of open avenues to the students. They can have combination, they can have skilled courses, they can have vocational courses. All these possibilities are there.
If I tie it with, as you were talking about teachers training, parents judge the students, but teachers also judge the students a lot of the times. This person is a science student, being biased towards students. We've all heard those stories where a child has gone back home and said, that teacher was bullying me. Or the teacher's biased towards this other person. This teacher keeps punishing me.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
See, some things are noticed, some things are unnoticed. If it comes to our notice, so certainly we take action. Action is not the kind of termination of a teacher or this or that. We're always open for counseling. We can talk to the teacher, we can talk to the student. We can really find from where it has been initiated. Was it really the student is biased towards the teacher, or the teacher is biased towards the student? Or even parents are biased towards the teacher. So you really need to investigate, because you really need to come find the truth, The spark of truth you can find out when you start talking to the people in a different manner, that you really want to help them. It's not that you want to have a sanction against them. Then when you talk of sanctions, then people will change. Their faces are changed, their reality is being hidden. But when the people know that we want to help them, we want to really find out if this could be done the other way. So this is how we really manage a situation. Because I always tell our teachers, don't use the word handle, because, they're not gadgets that you start handling the gadgets. We manage the situation. We have to find out. If it's really something which the student is biased, we will have a counseling with the student. We'll talk to him that, no, this is not that way. Your teacher really didn't mean that. Your teacher wanted to help you or something or the other. If we find the teacher being biased towards the student, we have to talk to the teacher. So you can't, one size doesn't fit all. So for every individual, you have to have a different strategy. You can't be just one frame and you put it, okay, now everything is set.
DC has an ongoing debate about educational reform, especially in terms of history. But I think what is also overlooked is, the creativity and individuality of the child. I think it is highly overlooked. I think that needs to be also, given priority. And Blossoms does that.
Yes.
You guys also have provision for specially able children.
Yes, yes, of course. We have a wing for especially able children, or nowadays it's being called child with special needs. So some of them are having autism. You know, autism is a spectrum. So we take a mild children with autism. Some are having dyslexia. They are basically learning disabilities that they are having. Some Down syndrome children we are having at the school. So we believe in inclusion. Blossom School has taken the concept of inclusion in terms of education. So these students are part and parcel of the school, of the classroom. You know, the children, they have to learn that they have to live together in harmony and understanding. So if a child has autism, so what? The child's nobility has to be protected. You know, the child's right has to be given to the child. So we provide a shadow teacher or a special educator who sits next to the child throughout the classroom to make sure that this child is not being deprived of what's happening in the class. And the students are also being given that opportunity that they should also help their fellow friend.
And what is the response side of the student?
That's very good. We have seen tremendous changes in the children, and it's so significant. And that has, you know, the children have such tender hearts. I was talking about that, the feelings that they have. It's become so true. They understand that this child needs help. I just remember one incident that we were taking a demo class for a new teacher. It was UKG classroom. Just think 5-year-old children. So it was a demo class. One new teacher had come for a new demo and appointment for a new teacher. We had one special child in that class. And that special child keeps moving in the class. Okay? Can't sit for a long time. Sits maybe for 10-15 minutes and then starts moving in the class and like that. So this teacher who was newly there, we were just observing. We were observing a new teacher. How is she taking the class and how she's managing with the children. This teacher said, "Sit down." And the child looked at her and again continued moving. And then again she kept on teaching and then she said, "Sit down, this is your place, you sit down." Then another child, imagine, I'm telling again, insisting on 5-year-old child, stood up and told, "Ma'am, she will sit after some time. Wait, she will move for some time, then she will sit. Don't worry. Just think about it." Another child, 5-year-old child, has observed her friend that this is a child with special need. She will move in the class for some time, then she'll sit back. And that teacher was really surprised that she got a piece of advice from another girl, you know. And so these children with special needs, they are being so welcomed in Blossoms that they themselves are improving, they are happy, they start socializing, and their abilities, whatever abilities they have that gets flourished, the parents are very happy. Even parents are being given their identity as, you know, educators. And every year during Teachers' Day, we are awarding our teachers. On Teachers' Day, we have a big celebration awarding our teachers. We award these special educators as well. And some of them who are mothers of these special educators, we award them because they are real educators who are giving their heart and soul for the special child.
So, what is that one advice that you would, or multiple advice if you would like to give to, you know, parents, students, and children, or, you know, the population in general, or our viewers?
You'd like to learn that?
Yeah, yes. My not advice is my request. My request that they should give some meaningful time to their children. Some of the parents, they purchase most expensive remote cars, helicopter, this, that, toys, very expensive, and just give to them and finish. They don't spend time with their children. Just they take them to restaurant, having pizza, here, there. But they don't give meaningful time to it. That is, they're busy with their job. They come late night, or mother is busy with this watching these TV channels, I don't know, like that. So I think my humble request to give at least meaningful time to their children so that the children get that love and affection so that they can pass it to their own children. So this is like a passing from one generation to the other generation. That will make the, suppose, the children who are committing suicide or the children who are going to drugs. So this will be avoided. So once we give time to children, it will be very, it will make the character of the child in the right way. If suppose plant is from beginning is straight, it will go straight. Otherwise, if suppose it is due to storm or cyclone, a little bent, when it is young plants, so okay, you can make it straight. But once it becomes mighty tree, you cannot make it straight, it will break. So when the children are small, you can make their character and they can grow. This is my humble request.
Yeah. And also other thing which I think parents should consider is not to compare their children with anyone else. That's not even their siblings.
Yeah.
Even in one family, even among the twins, you will never find them being one and the same. There are always individual differences, either in their talents or in their abilities, the capacities, in their nature.
Joke, right?
Yeah.
शर्मा जी का लड़का मनु शर्मा जी का लड़का 90 लगता है.
Exactly. There is no end to it. If you compare the children, always understand that your child is the best and make sure that your child has used her utmost ability. You know, compare the child with herself. That, okay, you were getting 20 out of 40. Now you're getting 30 out of 40. That's excellent. You're going to 39 now. It's excellent. You know, every child will always keep a milestone for himself to achieve that milestone. This is what the parents should do.
And that brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you so much, Mahan. Thank you so much, sir, for such an inspiring episode, for sharing your stories and, you know, having so much resilience and perseverance and being such an idol, especially with your school, Blossoms. Blossoms is awesome. And everyone, you get a principal or a founder or, school, manage your school like you guys.
Thank you so much.
It is like a dream place for a child.
Thank you so much.
Sure, thank you. Thank you.